Up top, Lovering, high-low entry pass, caught by Jabari. Elevates and slams inside! Jabari with the jam! And the Buffs are within 3. Here's some highlights from the Colorado Buffaloes' 6-point loss to number 9 UCLA here at the event center back in the Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, my broadcast partner. See you great. Scott Wilke joining us here for a few minutes. That game against UCLA illustrated once again, though, that this young team's got to understand playing consistently right from the get-go with high energy, didn't it?
Yeah, they kind of got overwhelmed by UCLA's defense early in the ball game, created a lot of turnovers, weren't as aggressive and intense maybe as they needed to be. They picked up as the game went on.
You know, it's interesting. You watch, we talked about this in the radio broadcast of Colorado Basketball Network about veteran players, Johnny Juzang, Jaime Jaquez, Tiger Campbell. There's a confidence they have that, you know, our guys are learning and are going to figure out as they play more games. When you got a team like UCLA that's gone to the Final Four, you could see those guys in key situations, didn't panic, made big plays, pull out a win.
Colorado was making a big run. They were picking up their energy level, playing really good defense. But those guys made the plays when they had to. They made the shots. They didn't get rattled. They made the free throws. Give them credit down the stretch. They made they did what they had to do.
Turnovers, though, the big problem. 21 in the ballgame at 14 at the half. In fact, the Buffaloes were down 18-0 in points off turnovers at the intermission. This young squad has got to start learning about ball fakes and pass fakes to help them with that issue.
We saw a similar thing happen down in Arizona in Tucson.
Right.
Arizona is another team that comes up and really gets on you, presses you out, and it makes you go backdoor. And they got to use pass fakes. Make those defensive guys react. Get them out of position, then make your play.
Yeah, Colorado in this ball game had too many, you know, over the top and long athletes are going to make plays and deflect the basketball and create problems. This team's got to learn that issue. But when we talked to Tad in the post game on the radio, I think he came out of this thinking, okay, we lost, never any you know, lessons learned there. But this team is learning and growing, I guess is what.
Yeah, and he said, like, the game going home Thursday night, you could tell there was something not good in his gut.
Yeah.
He didn't feel good about that game. Tonight, he felt better. They played so much better in the second half and really fought, which is half the battle part of the time, Mark.
Yeah, without question. Well, the Buffs get beat by number 16 USC and number 9 UCLA. After the Bruins game, this is what head coach Tad Boyle had to say. Crosses over, drives his way in the paint, kick out deep in the right corner. Evan Batty for 3, fires right between the eyes.
What a disappointing loss. We shot ourselves in the foot, you know, for a second game in a row with our turnovers. I didn't think it could get worse than 16, and here we are tonight at 21. But I got to tip my cap to our guys. They battled back in that second half. This team's got fight. It's got resilience. It's got heart. We just have to understand the little things, and every possession means something. We haven't figured that out yet because you got to understand it's a 40-minute game. We talked about it before, and you know, coming out on the court, but it's almost like their pressure surprised us. We knew that they were going to come out and blow up handoffs and get into us a little bit and get in passing lanes. So we can't be surprised when that happens. But to battle back from 15 down and claw your way back and get it to a one-point game, we just couldn't get over the hump. You know, there's a lot of things we didn't do well, but there are times in athletics, and this may be one of my. I do think down the stretch, where you have to tip your cap to your opponents.
That's head coach Tad Boyle after the Buffalo's 6-point loss to number 9 UCLA. We continue with Scott Wilke here for a couple of minutes. Jabari Walker, speaking of growth, we were talking about the team growing up before we heard from Tad. Jabari Walker showed some growth, I thought, tonight.
Yeah, as a big man, I like it when he gets down on the block because he is such a load down there. He's so strong, so aggressive, and when he posts up that way, he's a different player. He drew a lot of fouls tonight, and he finished strong around the basket.
You know, I always get asked about the 7-footer. Well, everyone's, you know, the curiosity of having a big guy. Lawson Lovering, when you watch him, he's a talented kid, moves very well for being 7'1". Tell me what you see with him.
Well, tonight we saw some good things. You know, it's been a while since we've seen some good things. He's been in a slump, not just shooting slump, but things just haven't gone his way for several ball games. But tonight, with energy level and some fight physically, he showed some promise tonight.
But what are the issues? Talk about specifically what he's dealing with in terms of when he gets the ball and why he's had problems.
Yeah, he's had a lot of times where he's not finishing, Mark. A guard will penetrate and drop it off to him, and he's taking too long. He's winding up, trying to think he's gathering. Yeah. And by then, you know, at this level, your advantage is gone. They're too fast. They recover too quickly. So he's got to get it up quicker. We saw him do that tonight.
Yep.
He finished around the rim like that. And you've got to be stronger. Just hold your ground. He's getting shoved around a little bit because of the size he's playing against. But just fighting more like he did tonight is a difference.
Yeah, there's that great line. They always say the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. They grow up, get bigger and stronger. All right, big road trip coming up for Colorado. At Oregon, at Washington State. 3 games over the course of 6 days. It's going to be an interesting stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him, and you just got to take one at a time. But there's a chance here to get a couple wins, and you just got to take one at a time and focus on the second half tonight. Energy level and fight.
Yeah, this is the second time they try to make up that Ducks game on Tuesday night. That's an 8 o'clock ball game. And, of course, Oregon's coming off a sweep at the LA schools. The Buffaloes get swept at home by the LA schools. That's Scott Wilke coming up next here on the Buffalo Stampede. We're going to talk CU women's basketball.